Good morning, YouTubers. It is your boy, Sleeve to Switch here, and it is week 2 of post-op, and I'm heading back to work today. So, as I've mentioned before, my work is, one of the benefits of my work is that if you have surgery and can get FMLA, you get some time off. So I took 2 weeks off for my surgery. Don't know that I totally needed it. I work at a desk job. I probably could have gone back to work last week after 1 week and been just fine. But, you know, used the time off to get some things done, and it was nice just to have some downtime. Didn't do as much TV binge watching as I thought I would have, but that's okay. Anyway, went to my 2 week, I don't know what it was, just my post-op doctor appointment yesterday with the post-op. It was good. Everything seems to be good. Got my staples taken out of my incisions. They look good. They're still a little bit, you know, whatever, red, sore. They're not really sore. They're just kind of ugly. But the PA thought they looked good, so yay. What else? I feel good, although I've noticed in the last couple of days I've been working and doing some, not to say manual labor, yeah, I guess some manual labor, nothing too strenuous, but I noticed that after 3 or 4 hours of working, I get pretty tired and I have to sit down and rest for a while. So, but then the energy comes back, so that's been good. Well, I guess it's good that the energy rebounds, but beyond that, I don't really know if it's good or not. I think it's just going to take some getting used to. Probably one of the biggest changes I've noticed is in my diet. My diet is, I don't have a lot of hunger, and this is really weird. I don't know. When I had the sleeve done, I think my diet had a lot to do with just a stomach that didn't really want to tolerate much, and so I just didn't eat much. But right now, I just have zero interest in eating. I eat because I know I'm supposed to and I need energy, but it's not like I'm hungry. I'm not. Every now and then I'll kind of get a little bit of a hunger signal, but not much. So I'm sure, I don't know how that's going to return. You always hear people say this in other weight loss videos, weight loss surgery videos. Oh, I've lost my hunger. And I don't know if that's a temporary phenomenon. If it's something that stays for people, well, good for you. With my sleeve, it is something that came back. Although I do acknowledge that it was more head hunger than anything else. What else is happening in the last week? So I'm a little bit discouraged because I haven't lost a lot of weight in the last week. I'm down probably another 2.5 pounds this week. So from where I started on the pre-op diet, I'm down about 31 pounds. And that's great. And so that would be about 13 since surgery. And so again, that's good. I was hoping for a little bit more, but my body's being a little bit fickle. Trying to get on a regular pooping schedule is interesting. Sorry if that's TMI. Probably the only weirdness that I experienced in the last week is that last Friday I was just going about my day doing my thing, and all of a sudden I started feeling some pressure down in my groin area and just off to the side. And it was a little bit, didn't hurt, but it just felt weird. And so I kind of went in and sat on the couch and sat down for a minute, and it eventually went away after 2 or 3 hours. Well, the next day I had a really large bowel movement, and for those of you who are on kind of a liquid diet and whatnot, you maybe can relate. You know, with all the protein I've been eating, usually my bowel movements are small pebbles, and small, dark, hard pebbles. Not this. This was large and green. Sorry, I know this is TMI, but I was just a little concerned about that. But it was weird because my wife and I were walking around Costco. See, that experience with the gas was on Friday. On Saturday, we were walking around Costco, and I had already had one of the aforementioned pebbles happen Saturday morning. And then we're walking around Costco Saturday afternoon. I'm like, I got to go to the restroom. And it wasn't like I had to rush there, but it's like all of a sudden there was a need to go. And I haven't really felt that in a few weeks. Usually it was more of a push, if you will, to go. And this was like, no, there's a little bit of urgency here. Not like urgency like, oh my gosh, if I don't find the bathroom, I'm going to end up having an accident. Not that kind, but just, hey, you got to go. And so I went, and I was just kind of surprised by the amount that came out. So talked to my PA about that yesterday. She said it's just your bowels clearing after surgery and kind of working through things. Also, if you introduce any fats, And I don't think I'd introduced any fats up until then. So to be honest about my diet, I was doing full liquids up until about this last weekend, so maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I'm only supposed to start on soft foods today, but I've been doing soft foods for about the last 3 or 4 days, just because I knew my stomach would tolerate it. I just kind of introduced things here and there as I knew I could handle it. So I think I had a cheese stick. I think I had some other things along those lines. And so everything has been pretty good. What did I have yesterday that I thought, I'm not sure about this? I had a bag of mixed nuts. So it was cashews and almonds and macadamias, I think, and maybe one other nut. And it was just one of those things for planters, Nutrition or whatever. And they have their little packs that you can buy. So I had one of those, and everything felt good initially, but then about an hour later, I didn't really feel great. And I don't know if it was from that. I hadn't really eaten anything else since earlier in the day, but so I can assume it was that, but I don't know. We'll have to try it again later. But other foods that are going down well, I discovered mashed cauliflower. You can buy it ready to go in the freezer section. That stuff is awesome. Yeah, you can still know that it's cauliflower, but the consistency and the texture and everything is a lot like mashed potatoes. The other thing that I'm supposed to do on soft foods is ground turkey. So I bought a bunch of ground turkey, got it all cooked up, and I made like a little miniature shepherd's pie. And I just took about 2 ounces of the cooked turkey, and I took about 2 ounces of 2 ounces of the mashed cauliflower. So I layered it in a bowl, and then I just put like a sprinkling of cheese on the top of it. Man, that's good stuff. I think I ate little cups like that for about 3 or 4 meals. 3 meals. Totally enjoyed that. That went down fine. Made me feel good to have some real food again. What else have I eaten? There are these salami and cheese packs that another person, duodenal switch person, turned me on to. Again, you have to kind of watch the fat content. That's the great balancing act here. But anyway, so protein shakes that's what I'm having for breakfast this morning still. Because the crazy thing is I had gone through and I had planned out 2 weeks of soft foods, and I had just based it on what they told me I could eat. But then I got looking at when I went to see the doctor yesterday, the PA. She's like, well, you want to keep your calories between 800 and 1100 calories, which is pretty standard boilerplate for most post-ops. And I don't know if she totally understood that my stomach didn't have the surgery this time around, so my stomach's totally functioning. But as far as the calories go, the soft foods I get because my intestines are still trying to heal and whatnot. But anyway, I thought, well, the meal plan I laid out, I don't think it accounts for 1100 or so calories. It accounts for more like 16, 17, 1800 calories, which was kind of where I want to get to. And so anyway, I didn't really bring it up with her. I just kind of went, okay, so I'm going to try and be obedient to that for the next couple of weeks. I have my 1 month follow-up in about 2 to 3 weeks, about 2.5 weeks, and I'll bring it up then with a nutritionist. We'll kind of get down to bare bones on what I'm supposed to be doing. But for now, I will try and stick to the 1100 calories, which I'm realizing that I'm going to have to cut back on some of the meal planning I did. So instead of having a shake and half of a Quest bar for breakfast, I'm just going to have a shake. Basically, I do really well if I eat 6 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then mid-morning snack, mid-afternoon snack, evening snack. Basically, if I'm going to keep it to 1100, or yesterday was 1200 calories, I've got to do about 200 calories a meal. And I can do more, less for snacks and more for meals, but it's going to be a challenge. Sorry, throat's getting dry. Anyway, so that will be a little bit of a challenge. What else? I was trying to get scheduled to ref a soccer game tonight, but that didn't happen, so oh well. I'm not real enthused to get back out there just yet. I think I could probably run around. I just don't know if I have the energy, and that's where I have some concerns. So we'll wait and see. I guess that's really it. I feel good. Excited and terrified to go back to work today, just because it's nice to get back to your routine, but I have no idea what's waiting for me. I sent a text to one of my technicians and asked her how things were and if I should be nervous about coming back. She just said, "Do you want me to be honest?" And I said, "No, I'll just be surprised." What else about the surgery? So went over diet, weight loss. Like I said, I wish I was a little further along, but I'm going to have to keep preaching to myself patience. I've got to be patient with this. So that's where I've got to go with this, is be patient. It'll come. Little things at a time. Okay, I did have one non-scale victory. I got rid of one pair of jeans that I'd gotten into. I'd gotten into a size of 48 waist jeans. And previously I'd gotten down to, I think the lowest I got down to was a 48 before, or 44. And anyway, so I'd gotten back up to a 48 jean, and really I think my waist was probably a 50. I think the jeans were a little bit stretchy. So put the 48s back on the shelf, now back in the 46 jeans. So that's good. And the 46s aren't stretchy denim material. They are just solid 46s. So I think I'm solidly back there. Feel kind of foolish because I bought a suit a couple months ago, and it's going to be big on me here before long, so I'm only going to get a few wearings out of that before it gets put to the back of the closet. This is one of those things I struggle with, is I did give away a lot of my clothes to, most people call it Goodwill. We have a different thrift store around here. But I gave away all my clothes as I was getting skinnier, and then when I started gaining weight again, all of a sudden I had no clothes. So I'm a little bit more reluctant to give away my clothes this time. I know everybody says, well, that should be your motivation. You know what? It didn't serve as a motivation last time. I knew I was getting fatter, and yes, it was painful, and yes, I knew I was going to have to go buy clothes, but it didn't stop me it didn't change my habits. So there's a part of me that just doesn't quite want to do that, make that same mistake again. I don't want to necessarily make it a mental check mark that says, oh, you can gain weight again because you have the clothes for it. I don't want to do that either. But anyway, so stuff to think about. We'll see how everything else goes this week. I'll check in again next week, but that's it for now. So hope you guys are having a good one. Eat your protein, eat your vegetables, and stay away from the bad carbs. Talk to you later. Bye.